Hello and welcome to this special show on Rajya Sabha Television, wherein we bring you all aspects of India's fight against COVID-19 pandemic. And it's not only about finding vaccines or drugs or battling this particular virus in hospitals or in quarantine centers. It's also about ensuring that normal daily lives can go on despite all the troubles and all the challenges which are being thrown to us. And one aspect of that normal daily life is school education, which obviously had come to an halt because of the lockdown. The schools are closed and they're likely to remain so for quite a few more weeks. So one more interesting aspect here is digital education or the online education. Most of the schools have already started this online classes for their students, with the teachers getting connected with the students via digital platforms and imparting education or classes to them. One very important policy decision has been taken by the government of India, and that is the launch of a PM e-Vidya platform, obviously to bring about one nation and one digital platform. What are the kind of services available out there? How will it work and how will it give the boost, much needed boost to the school education which is required in these times? We'll talk about all that in the next 25 odd minutes. We have three very important guests with us. Let me first introduce them to you, beginning with Dr. Hrushikesh Senapaty. He is the director of NCERT. Also, we have with us Dr. C.V. Sharma. He is the former chairman of National Institute of Open Schooling. We also have with us a principal of a well-known private school, Ms. Sunita Gupta, the principal of Air Force Bharati in capital New Delhi.
Namaskar.
Welcome all of you, ma'am and sirs. Let me begin with you, Dr. Senapaty, and let's try and understand what exactly is PM e-Vidya all about.
This PM e-Vidya is an excellent initiative of Government of India. I'm very happy that I have got this invitation to discuss something on this e-Vidya. Really, we are going to do something for the deprived section of the society, because we are doing a lot on online education, on digital education. But now we are going to have this TV channel, 12 TV channel for each class, one channel. And also we are focusing on radio, community radio. Actually, it will help us to cater to the need of the deprived section, the poor section, who are not getting this facility because they are not having internet facility, they are not having smartphone, and they are deprived. But education is the fundamental right, and everybody has a right to education, and we should provide them the right type of education. So from that point of view, this initiative will really help the deprived section. And second, the focus is on the special children, the children with this visual impairment, hearing impairment. They will be benefited because this e-Vidya PM e-Vidya program is also going to provide some support to these children, and will come out with some materials which will provide support to the children, and the children will be benefited. So from that point of view, this is very, very important, because we know we have in this PM e-Vidya program, this is the combination of digital, online, and on-air mode. We can say this is a multi-mode approach to education, because we have now Dahiya portal with us, and materials are available in 15 languages, and material from different states in different languages are available, and our children will be benefited out of that. Similarly, we have also material in e-Pathshala, NRO. We have different types of materials. So that is also going to help, and all our textbooks are available in digital mode. So that is also going to help. And along with this Dahiya, we have also this Saumya, that online open education, that we have many courses. NIOS has developed 44 program, NCERT has developed 28 program, and our children are using this. And during this time, our children are taking benefit of this, and there is a spike in that means in the number. So that means we are very happy that everybody is taking advantage of this. And apart from this TV channel, what I have already mentioned, now also we have TV channel. So that is there, and radio, all these things are there, and we'll discuss in detail.
Okay. So it's a multi-nodal approach, as you mentioned, not only the digital and online platforms, but via television channels and radio channels as well, to further increase the reach. Dr. Sharma, from your point of view, this multi-nodal approach, Quite the right time to go ahead with it. Obviously, digital education is a concept which is not new, but the situation has eventually, forced us to go ahead and innovate here and push the pedal as far as digital, online, or the multinodal approach to education is concerned.
First of all, I will say school buildings are closed. They are not functioning. Education has not stopped. School has not stopped. Madam Principal is here. She will definitely support that we never stopped for a day. And it will be, I believe, incorrect to say that we are working on it now. India perhaps is front runner, a leading country of the world as far as digital education or online education, especially for school education, is concerned. I think it needs to be mentioned that 1975-76, we were the first country to experiment with education through satellite, through our SITE experiment, satellite instructional television experiment. We were the first country, no country did it. Now, as far as technology is concerned, it has to be a multimedia approach to education in a country like ours. I know as educationists, 70% of our children have access to online computer-based content. 30% do not have access to software-based, computer-based technology. But then, don't forget, as Professor Senapaty mentioned and very correctly mentioned, that radio is a very powerful tool as far as education is concerned. We undermine radio because it is the oldest technology as far as media of communication is concerned, but then it's perhaps in education the most important, especially for lower primary and subjects like where you have to transfer only content, not the skill. So radio can be used very usefully, and we have a powerful network of radio, especially thanks to our Honorable Prime Minister, who has made it relive through his Mann Ki Baat. Since he started doing Mann Ki Baat, radio has come alive and we are using it. We have trained 70,000 teachers in Jharkhand only a couple of years back through radio. We are using radio in a big way. The National Institute of Open Schooling has live radio with the Vahini. So there are number of states using radio, number of states using television, and as Professor Senapaty mentioned, the National Institute of Open Schooling has gone ahead with 3 live channels as mandatory channels on all service providers. If you tune in from 1 to 7 p.m., teachers are teaching from their homes live, and there are hundreds of questions every day. We have experimented with all our technologies, and as far as content is concerned, we have converted all our content. One thing that I would definitely like to mention, because teachers are not aware of the sources where the material is, like Professor Senapaty mentioned about SWAM platform. You will be surprised to know that it is the latest to come on the massive open online course platform like edX, Coursera, but it is the largest of the world, a brainchild of the most vibrant Minister for Education, Smriti Irani. She gave this concept, she introduced it, and today it is the largest MOOC platform of the world. All your content for secondary education is available on SWAM, but very few teachers know. So what they are trying to do is to create content and teach their classes. I believe what is most important today is to share with teachers that look, there is content on Diksha platform of the CBSE, the SWAM platform of the MHRD, and similar other platforms of the states where material has been kept on local languages, the 22 national languages of India. So I believe it will be incorrect to mention first that schools did not stop functioning. So, I mean, I'm amazed, I'm surprised by the inquisitiveness of the teachers who did not even wait for a few days. They converted the material and started teaching online or on one platform or the other. And content India has created as software-based, television-based, radio-based. The best thing that has come is this Prime Minister's platform, where everybody can come and then go away to different platforms, so that there is no choking of the platform. There is no overburden.
Okay. And since you mentioned about teachers and how they have not sat quiet and ensured that everything keeps running, let's bring in one here, the representative, the principal of Air Force Bal Bharati, Ms. Sunita Gupta here. Ms. Gupta, from your experience, in the past few weeks, the way digital learning or online learning has spread its ambit, wherein the teachers have connected with the students, be it of any school, and with this additional resources with which both Dr. Senapati and Dr. Sharma are mentioning, it will be a much easier task from here onwards. A bit cumbersome, but easier.
Namaskar, Vishalji. It is amazing to see how every stakeholder associated with the education, be it teachers, institutions, parents, children, government, CBSE, education boards, everybody has got together to ensure that the education for the children continues. Schools might be closed, as Sharma sir has mentioned, but the education did not stop at all. In fact, as we, in a lighter vein, education is continuing for all of us, for people heading the institutions, for teachers, because our children were always you can say, tech savvy. It is the teachers who are teachers and the principals who had to all of a sudden overnight they had to train themselves and learn how to use various apps. But it is wonderful, amazing. All 100 marks to teachers. The way
Mhm.
they rose up to the situation and overnight they trained themselves. So they are teaching in the morning, they are recording videos in the evening, they are learning, they are taking training sessions, and they are making sure that every child is attended to. And as it has been mentioned by fellow panelists, that there is a lot of material, resource material already available in the digital world. But what teachers are doing right now is that because students are very used to listening to their teachers, and information overload is there also for them. So teachers are giving their own personal touch to to that educate to that material and serving it to the children, so that they feel that it is from for them personally, custom based for them. And
Okay.
that way we have actually been able to continue the education, make a lot of learning, uh, mm, uh, they make sure that emotional and mental well-being of the children is also taken care of. So a lot
Mhm.
of counseling is also going online to the students. So,
Okay,
that
but Ms. Gupta, out here, I'd like to bring in another aspect, and would you not agree with me and Dr. Senapati here on the aspect that the tougher task here had been to reaching out to the lower strata of the society, to those students in the society, from the economically weaker section, or the children with special need. And that is something which, as a principal, you might also have initially found yourself trying to grapple with, to try and find solutions, because not everybody has access to computers or internet.
Yeah, that's absolutely. We did face this problem because not only the people do not have access to internet, there are problems of families not having enough gadgets because parents are working online. There are two children, three children in the house, so all of them need to attend classes at the same time. And don't forget that not every child has got personal physical space for himself. So there are children who are staying in one room, 5 or 6 people, so they all have to do work from that in that physical space. So there are a lot of challenges, and that is why this initiative by PM of having individual DTH to multi-mode approach is a very welcome step, because then you will be able to provide education to everyone, to the
Mhm.
last child. So that way it's a very welcome step, and I'm sure this multi-mode approach is going to help everyone, and the entire Siksha Abhiyan we will be able to achieve that goal.
Okay, okay. Yes, Dr. Sharma.
Look, first I will say, we need to discuss for various sectors and various groups. Just as you mentioned about the less privileged and the differently abled, again, that is one sector where a lot of work has been done. I'm reminded on 2nd October 2018, the Honorable Minister, the then Minister, has launched a full DTH channel, Gyanamrit channel on the Swayam Prabha, which is in complete sign language. The National Institute of Open Schooling has developed more than 1,000 hours of content for secondary learners, which is on air every day. Now, very few people know. So that is one sector. For the blind, the National Institute of Open Schooling again has content in DAISY format, which the blind accesses. What I will tell you is that various organizations, various agencies have developed material for various sectors, and IGNOU is one of them, which has developed material for the hearing impaired, visually impaired, learning disability, dyslexics. We only need to quickly put all these at one place and inform teachers and parents. What I would say is that there is lack of exchange of information as far as content is concerned. I'm reminded 2004, we did a survey, Senapati ji will know it, that there were more than 5,000 hours of television content in our country, which various diets had created, various SCRTs had created, and other educational institutions. So let us not quickly summarize that there is no material for the differently abled or less privileged. One. Two, very important point. Let us not say and believe that learning only will take place if you have the best, the most sophisticated gadget. Learning can take place through the most primitive of technology or the oldest of technologies. As soon as we say one doesn't have a computer or one doesn't have an Android phone, and so one is deprived, let us do away with that understanding. We need to examine, and Senapati ji will confirm and agree with me, that we need to examine all technologies available, match it with the content that we have to transfer, and use the most appropriate technology for the most appropriate content.
Okay, and perhaps that is the basis for this particular overarching scheme, the PM e-Vidya, which we're talking about, because it's a multi-nodal approach, has television channels, has radio channels, has digital online content as well on several platforms, which both of you mentioned. Dr. Sharma, let me come back to Dr. Senapati here. Quite a plethora of content out there, but if we have to now tell our viewers and those listening to this show or watching this show as to how to utilize that, point number one, and how this entire process will move from here onwards, that one nation, one digital platform scheme, that is PM e-Vidya.
The most important thing that we should know how to use these channels, or it may be radio, it may be television, it may be other platforms, because it is not only technology. Technology alone is not going to help. And we should understand pedagogy. And we should not use this channel just to cover the syllabus. That is one part. But ultimate goal is to help our students to develop their critical thinking, their problem-solving ability, their creativity. So by covering syllabus, by transacting what is there, that we are not going to address that. And all the time we think that our children do not know anything. Their mind is just like empty vessel. We have to pour information. That is wrong. When our children are to the school, coming to the classroom, they're coming with many experiences. Because earlier theory was that learning was defined as knowledge acquisition. Mind is just like empty vessel. Now the latest definition, it is knowledge construction. And whatever we are providing, we should try to link it to their cognitive level. If it will match to their cognitive level, they can analyze, they can synthesize, they can formulate a hypothesis, and they can come to the conclusion. That is why when we are using different channels, when we are presenting content, we should create some situation where our children will get opportunity to observe, to think, to analyze, and to come out with some hypothesis, and let them verify their hypothesis, let them do something, because we have to provide them opportunity to create something. It may be radio. In rural area, nothing is available. Using the local, our children can do many things. They can develop their creativity, they can develop their critical thinking, they can develop their problem solving ability. That is the need of our. We need good human being. We need good citizen. That we can do with the help of this. That is why pedagogy all the time dominates technology. Then we should know what is pedagogy and what is the interrelationship between technology and pedagogy, and also interrelationship between content, technology and pedagogy. Then we can come out with good content and we can use properly that will help our children to develop their innate potentialities, and we can really help them to provide right type of education so that they will be benefited and whole nation will be benefited. That is most important for all of us.
Okay, that's very aptly summed up out there. Concluding comments from you, Ms. Gupta, from an end user's perspective of these all platforms, these all services which are available, as both Dr. Sharma and Dr. Senapaty also pointed out, there are several a whole lot of content available out there for the teachers to take a cue from, be it Swam platform or Diksha platform, and now that the television channels and radio channels will also be integrated into in this entire system.
I would like to make a very important point that in my experience, students do learn when there is a two-way communications. And all these platforms, though they are very good, they are providing good content, but it's a one-way communication. So I hope that there is some sort of registration. And there is I understand that there's a helpline, but there should be some sort of registration where there is reinforcement, there is motivation to learn, because in my experience, even the best motivated child at times, when there is not constant monitoring, might lag behind. So there should be a mechanism where we are taking care of all these aspects. So that from end users point of view, this is a very important point that I would like to make.
From the hand holding, something which you're pointing out is definitely required.
Hand-holding, monitoring, supervision, motivation, encouragement, all this is required, and this aspect has to be looked into.
Okay. Dr. Sharma, quick one from you before we close this.
Yes, I will like to definitely mention there is absolutely no substitute to a good teacher in the classroom. We cannot replace a teacher through any technology. I must emphasize that. But then I must also at the same time put the point that technologies have great potential. We have not utilized the power of the communication technologies. As Madam said, we are already doing 3 channels live every day and hundreds of questions are coming. What I have mentioned, there is a teacher from Jaipur teaching physics on my platform on the live mandatory channel made by the INB ministry. Children from across the country have been demanding every day, we want that teacher. So, see, we know there is no substitute to teacher, but then a vibrant teacher, an imaginative teacher can really do a good substitution for the classroom. It is only the training to the teacher that how to use that technology. Technologies have great potential. Distance education has great potential. We only need to realize the power of it, potential of it, and utilize it.
Okay, thank you so much, Dr. Sharma out there, Dr. Senapaty and Ms. Gupta. Clearly, as our panelists are pointing out, and in one sense, that's perfectly right as well. There is no substitute to the teacher, and obviously the technology cannot replace teacher. Teaching is a two-way process, but then the idea here is to go ahead and make use of these technologies, try and convert them or use them as per our need, and this entire platform which is being talked about, the Prime Minister e-Vidya platform, that is basically coming up as one nation, one digital platform. It not only has digital resource centers like Diksha or Swam, but also television channels and radio channels as well, which obviously will help the teachers and the students in the long run to go ahead and ensure that crises like COVID-19 pandemic do not become a hindrance in the process of learning. We'll come back again with a different topic. Till then, you keep watching Rajya Sabha television, but also keep following all the guidelines, specifically with respect to the social distancing norms. That is what will see us through in this fight against COVID or coronavirus. Thank you.